Tim and Tony podcast brings you
the Mild Manner Movie Review with your host, Tim.
And Tony. On this week's episode, we'll be talking about The Quiet Man.
Along with everything else happening in the geek world.
Are you not entertained?
But tonight, we dine in hell!
Great Scott.
You play ball like a girl!
We're on a mission from God.
If life finds a way.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
All right.
Okay.
How was your week?
It was good. Yeah, it was only a week this time.
Yeah, not 3 or 2.5.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Not a lot going, but keeping myself busy.
Yep. I finished a few things. Firefly. Great show.
I didn't even start that yet.
Yeah, that's a good one. Finished that up, and then watched Serenity, the movie.
Oh, the ending to it?
Yeah, the ending is really good. Finished Umbrella Academy on Netflix. That was really good.
Okay.
Caught up on Young Justice. I had like a few left. And started Justice League.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to do that, then Unlimited. Because I think they just go back to back.
Goes right in.
Yeah, and then Batman
I think
Beyond.
I think it even says there's like a 6-month jump or something.
Is there?
Like,
okay.
There might be a little jump.
Yeah, and then Batman Beyond, and then
I have 6 episodes left
of the whole thing
of Batman Beyond. Yeah.
Is that 3 seasons?
3. Yeah.
Okay. They're both, and Justice Leagues are both too. It's just a lot to watch.
It is, but like you
they're
said,
20
it's
minutes,
20 minutes, so
which is nice.
You
No
just let
commercials.
you just let it go, and you can watch so many at a time.
Yeah, and I want to get to Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
That's what I want to do is watch all the series like in order.
In order, and then
in order.
Yeah. Kind of like the Bruce Timm universe.
Yeah.
Type.
Like all of his
those,
shows. Yeah.
And then go to Batman: Brave and the Bold, because I heard that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the one
with Diedrich Bader as Batman,
Yes, yeah.
which I cannot wait for. He was just kind of jumping around, but they just posted his picture
for
the reboot.
Smith,
Yeah. And he's playing the same security
honestly,
guard.
The more they post, the more it's going to be the exact same movie.
Yeah.
It's literally the same movie, just a different group of people every time.
Yes.
But yeah, also this weekend coming up, C2E2's coming.
Yes, which we will be going on
It is
Sunday.
the weekend, yeah.
So missing I don't think Paul Rudd's gonna be there anymore, which kind of sucks.
No, he is.
He is. Oh, then he has no time.
A ton of other people are not going to be there. A lot of people were backing out.
Yeah, but mainly the people I want to see are gonna be there.
They're all staying. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for some, like Clark Gregg's kind of expensive to see.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, but that should be fun.
Season. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's actually like not a ton, but like looking through Facebook, it's like, oh, I'm going. Like people say like I'm going. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's gonna be a lot of people going.
All right, let's jump right into our first segment.
Clark Kent's just a mild-mannered reporter.
He doesn't want to be famous, and I'll make him infamous.
General, haven't you ever heard of freedom of the press?
I'm not a cop. I'm a reporter.
Gossip, rumors, panic in the streets. We're lucky.
Vicky Vale. I'm intrigued by Alex's giant bat story, so I've done some...
Oh, the Batman.
That guy's
Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the
playing the
Batman.
accordion.
It is not. I resent that.
I can't remember his
Slander
name in that
spoken.
movie, but he had that crazy draw. He was always
Police
playing the
will
guitar.
help. The press has to do the right thing.
They fight. He fights the kid.
Most of these guys are
we're in
all of those movies.
You serious?
All right, first up on the docket, James Gunn is rehired to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I guess this was about a month ago that Disney rehired him, though, and they just announced it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
It was rumored that like they didn't even look for anybody else.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, Are we gonna fire you just to keep up our image?
And then
we're gonna wait a couple months, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, but he will direct the Suicide Squad first, and then Guardians. So we won't be
he said he's not gonna rush through it to get to Guardians.
Yeah, so we
probably
won't be
just reassuring everybody like I will. Well, because even he's been a big proponent, like I don't DC, Marvel, whatever. As long as it's like a comic book, he's up for it.
Yeah, so we won't be getting Volume 3 for a few years.
Yeah, a couple years at least. Also, kind of both worlds. Joss Whedon says that Henry Cavill is he thinks is the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. Which I think he like the only.
No, but like
okay.
Tom Welling.
Sorry, Tom Welling.
Yeah,
probably the greatest.
Tyler
Hoechlin,
something like that.
And then
Dean Cain.
And I'm thinking Adam. Ray Palmer is
Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. And he was like almost a direct, or they try to do a sequel to too. So
okay, I was
there was a few.
There are thinking about it. There are actually more, but
Tim Daly, the animated show.
That's true.
Yeah, there are quite a few animated. Yeah. I can't remember the guy who does it for Justice League, but it's not Daly.
I know the face though.
Yeah. It's gonna piss me off. I gotta look it up.
It's
I've been every episode I look to see.
Oh, you like look to see
who's. Yeah. I can mostly guess who. Like James Remar just was in a last episode.
He's in a ton of stuff too.
It is George Newbern.
Yeah. He's got a recognizable face.
Yeah.
More when I remember him seeing.
Yeah, but he was getting a lot of crap for this. Like a lot of people were shooting back. And he's like, I think he said if he had the right material, and they're like, you did help make right. Justice League or whatever. It's like, so clearly you didn't have the right material. Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then the Flash news. Ezra Miller might be recast.
I didn't
by May, like as soon as May.
When I started like reading it, I'm like, oh
yeah. So he is now in the process of writing his own script in order to keep the role.
Right, because apparently he was held. What was it? What they call it? Like held to sign on or something. Like to do a movie.
Yeah.
Like it's in the contract. Like we'll hold you until this date.
And it's like coming up. May, yeah.
Because they announced this movie 3 or 4 years ago. At least.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, sticking with DC, there was a list.
There's a lot.
Well, there's a ton of lists, but
no, I meant a lot of DC news this week.
Yes, almost all of it,
except for one.
I mean, Danny DeVito was in pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
But Screen Rant released a top 10 Batman stories. Must read important stories. And then the list was Detective Comics 33. Oh, 38 was the other one.
38. What did we
33,
say? 39?
37.
Oh.
So Detective Comics 33 and 38. Year One, The Long Halloween, Death in the Family, Killing Joke, Nightfall, Tower of Babel, Hush, and The Dark Knight Returns. And which I've read 2 of them and seen 2 of them.
I've read 4, and I've seen Year One. It's one that I didn't read, but I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And then the Tower of Babel, whichever one that was.
Which that's kind of been adapted.
Justice League Doom-ish. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Also, I just kind of added in this too. But Screen Rant also had a list of like all the James Bond movies, and it broke it down into like who played them all.
So not like singular
as well.
movies.
No, it was like like the best watch order.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's actually best to just watch them
in order
as they released. So all 24 of them. I'm not gonna read them out because that would take a little bit. But
what's the top 5? Is it like
just in order? So like Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, and You Only Live Twice was who?
Sean Connery.
And on Her Majesty's Secret Service was
George Lazenby.
Diamonds Are Forever. Ooh, okay.
Sean Connery.
Okay, we'll turn this into this. Live and Let Die.
Timothy Dalton.
Wrong.
Roger Moore.
Man with a Golden Gun.
Roger Moore.
Spy Who Loved Me.
It's Roger Moore.
Moonraker.
Roger Moore.
For Your Eyes Only.
I want to say Timothy Dalton.
Wrong.
Roger Moore then.
Octopussy.
Roger Moore.
View to Kill.
That's Timothy Dalton.
Wrong.
What?
Yep.
Who's that?
Roger
Moore.
Timothy Dalton did Living Daylights and License to Kill.
License to Kill. That's the one. Damn it.
Goldeneye.
Pierce Brosnan.
Well, I'm not going to name the rest of them because it's pretty obvious who the next ones would be. But yeah, that was just a list because I think I started doing that because Netflix had them all. I watched a bunch of the old ones. Yeah.
No. If you have a VHS player.
I do.
I have I have at least all the Sean Connery.
Ooh. That might be another weekend where I'm just in the whole weekend and not doing anything.
It's like, I think we calculated it one day and it's over 2 days long watching them in a row. Okay, yeah, but next up, the original screen tested for Pikachu, for Detective Pikachu, was Danny DeVito. They used his voice. And I guess they said that when the movie comes out, they might release the tests, like on bonus features.
That would be cool. Like just
because I'm guessing it's just things Danny DeVito said in real life or in shows, and then they just animated Pikachu to say it, which would be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be cool to see. And then last up, Oscar Isaac said he'd be down for the Batman role. I think he also said he hasn't talked to anybody about it, but he's up for it, or he wouldn't mind doing it. Same with Armie Hammer, who said, was quoted saying, "Yeah, I'd absolutely do it, but someone's got to ask me to do it first."
Again.
Yes, because he was for Justice League Dark. Okay, so that's the news for the past week. Now it looks like it's time to talk about some new trailers.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
First up, the big one, the Avengers Endgame got a full second trailer.
Which revealed a little bit, not much.
It revealed a bunch of stuff, but none of it's probably real.
It's all
because the Russos came out and said, "Yeah, we used trailer footage for extra stuff we shot, or we shoot it just for trailers."
Oh God!
So, who knows
what's gonna really be in the movie?
Everyone's like, "Oh, confirm Tony's on Earth." I'm thinking, maybe not.
I could see that.
They could put anyone's face on top of those suits, and besides maybe War Machine, because that was his suit.
It's his suit, yeah. I don't know though. it could still.
Unless it was, it was because it was his armor.
Yeah, but they could easily just, I feel like, swap it out.
They've done it before, so
yeah. Then we also got Toy Story 4 trailer. Which looks super emotional.
That's gonna be quite a ride.
Yeah.
If you thought 3 was emotional,
oh
boy.
It looks like he's lost most of the movie again. They're never with the kid anymore.
It's not about them and the kid. Well, that's what they say it is, but
I feel like they were with Andy a lot of the time, though.
Yeah.
2, I guess.
Two was basically the same premise.
They
fell off when they were driving, and also, there's been a lot of details people are coming out. One of the scenes, the girl from Monsters Inc. is apparently in the background.
Oh, really?
It's her color shirt and her pigtails. So it looks exactly like her. And then the guy Keanu Reeves is playing was a doll in The Incredibles.
Okay.
So that's how they linked the movie.
Okay.
I think. That's just what I've seen recently. Also a new trailer a first trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The Quentin Tarantino, right?
9th film.
The title is the 9th film of Quentin.
Yeah, with Leo and Brad Pitt.
And Margot Robbie.
Yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, that's gonna be a cool movie.
Next up, Stranger Things released a season 3 trailer, like a full one. Looks awesome.
I still gotta watch. I think I finished season 1,
but not 2.
I definitely haven't watched 2. No.
Yeah, this one looks good. I like, is it Steve and Dustin at the end with the lightsabers?
How many kids are you friends with?
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be good.
Also, Krypton season 2 teaser dropped this week.
Yeah, a little 30-second clip. We see Doomsday. Just some more stuff like Adam Strange and a lot of the same stuff we've seen. Zod in charge now, though. What else was in that one? Not much. It was only like 30
I didn't
seconds.
see this one, but I did see that they were showing what's his name? I was gonna say Deadpool. Doomsday.
Yeah.
The other D.
And then our last trailer that released today was John Wick 3.
Yeah. That's
Full
gonna
one.
be insane. Which the first one was like, oh, he can't go back to the hotel. They give him
and it looks like
they're
he's
totally
back.
they're totally helping him.
Helping him out again.
It's gonna be.
What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns. What was this over? A dog?
Okay, the one thing on that though, she definitely says "bitch" like in the actual movie.
Really?
It's definitely like she mouths. She doesn't say "dog."
Okay, so they just edit it.
They probably edit it just for trailers. And I'm gonna call it now. That's what she said. Hopefully, I'm right. But
yeah, and also they didn't show Jason Mazzuccas. Or I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but
I know who. Okay.
Yeah, Adrian Pimento, and they didn't show him in the trailer, which I guess they're gonna wait and
it seems
surprise
like
us with.
He'll be with
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne's character. Like
he kind of looks. Yeah, I think his name's TikTok, or the TikTok Man, or something like that.
I don't remember.
Something like that.
That's just like the theme. All the trailer, all the posters have that.
Oh, okay.
No, but I think that's his guy's name. Yeah, but that's it for
those
trailers.
are the new trailers this week. Now it looks like it's time for some TNT trivia.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman.
I'm Wayne Brady Betts!
I am your father.
Vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
I am the Clint Commander.
What nights next week would work? Or would be best? Anyone?
Yes, I'm Batman.
Doesn't matter.
I'm rich, biatch!
This week the theme is The Quiet Man.
And I believe I'm first.
Yes, yeah, I went first last week.
Okay, my Who Am I? The 4 movies they were in. First one, The Quiet Man.
I knew you would do that.
Second one is Baghdad. I don't know what that is. Third one is The Parent Trap. And the fourth one is Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay, that would be Maureen O'Hara.
That is correct.
What would the third one you said got? I was like, Parent Trap.
Parent Trap, yeah.
I was like, ooh, I remember reading that.
I got 2 random facts and a quote she said.
Ooh. Oh, she was very like, I think this was. I'll say let you say it in case I say any of it.
She performed her own stunts.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
In most of her films.
Ooh,
which is rare.
I knew in this one.
Yeah, and which is rare for an actress at that time. She became an American citizen on January 25th, 1946, but has retained her Irish citizenship. It was the first time in history that the United States government recognized an Irish citizen as Irish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
This led to a change in the process for all Irish immigrants. That's crazy. And then her quote, To the people throughout the world, John Wayne is not just an actor and a very fine actor. John Wayne is the United States of America.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they worked together for a bunch of movies. That just makes sense. Okay, so those were all your favorites?
Those are, yep.
Okay.
Keep this.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's see. Okay, mine. Who am I? The first one, The Quiet Man. The second one, Going My Way. The third one, How Green Was My Valley. And number 4, which was I'm very interested in seeing now, is And Then There Were None. What? You want to be on the episode?
I'm going to take a guess. Is it Barry Fitzgerald?
It is.
Plays Micheline O'Flynn.
Micheline. Oh, wow.
What's the last movie? What was the... I guess I could...
Which one? What do you mean? And Then There Were None?
Yeah.
It's one of like the only books I've read, but one of my favorite. It's like a murder mystery. And it's like 12 people get invited to an island, and like it's almost like Clue.
Okay.
But that's a really good way to do it. Like they all go to an island, and then everyone starts dying off, and they have to figure out who the murderer is.
Yeah.
And I do remember the murderer from the book, so.
So you'll know. 1945.
So I would, but yeah, I would still absolutely want to see it. His facts are basically just a big paragraph, so I'm going to paraphrase. He was one of Hollywood's finest character actors, and he was born in 1888 in Ireland. So he was from the 1800s. Was this guy? That's how old this movie is. So he was about probably 70 when this movie came out and was done. He was nominated for the Best Asker. The Best Asker. Best Actor Oscar. That's what I was looking for. He was nominated for Best Actor, but he won for Best Supporting Actor in Going My Way. I have to get better with my facts on the people themselves, because this one, like I said, it's just like
oh my god,
it's just trying to
just
pick
one
out
bio. Yeah. All right. So now some facts about the movie.
Oh, okay, I did do this.
I did.
I was like, oh wait. No,
okay, my first one, Cohen's Pub, in the film was actually a grocery store in Kong County, Mayo. It later became a souvenir shop and was recently turned into a real Irish pub. It was officially opened September 17th, 2008. And it was
Did you know who
opened by
that's what I was getting into.
Daughter or granddaughter of one of the actors in the movie.
The daughter. Which, that's even cooler.
Yeah. And then this was a significant departure for Republic Pictures, which specialized in low-budget westerns, comedies, and war pictures. It was the company's first and only film to receive an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture. I think it cost $1.7 million to make.
Yeah.
And that was like their budget for the year for like most movies they made.
You get one shot.
And then a little bonus on this one. Was it Herbert Yates?
Yes. The studio head.
Agreed to make it only if they made a Western first. That would make them money when they lose money on this one.
Because at that time, Westerns were like, you made a Western, you made a ton of money.
Yeah, and they...
I like how they put it. It's like, to make up for the money you're going to lose.
Yeah. And they made Rio Grande, which has... It's the same director. And John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara. Was it the main villain? I can't remember the guy's name, but
Oh,
there was like
yeah.
4 or 5 people.
It was a bunch of
the
them.
same. Yeah. And then last, this is the second of 5 movies that paired John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara.
Okay, my facts about the movie, and yes, that was my microphone moving. Charles Fitzsimmons, or I can't, who plays Hugh Forbes in the movie, and James O'Hara, who plays Father Paul, were the real life younger brothers of Maureen O'Hara.
Yeah.
Which it seemed like there was a lot of family.
Yeah, there was
in this too.
2 of John Ford's
like
relatives.
directors.
Yeah. One of his older brother is the guy that jumps out of the bed.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember.
I think
his younger brother was the
kid-
assistant director or something.
Yeah. And then John Wayne's kids are.
Yeah,
like,
his
in
4
the-
kids are in the movie. At the horse racing scene.
Yeah. And then my second fact is kind of going along with what you said earlier. Maureen O'Hara had no double for the scene where John Wayne dragged her across the fields back to the village.
Yeah.
And she got bruised because it was all rough and
I guess they didn't move any of the sheep poop.
Well,
they kept moving them back and forth, I guess.
That's the thing. John Wayne and the director were like trying to prank her, like putting all the shit
more,
on,
yeah.
And then she saw him do it, so her and her friends would like throw it away, but then they kept just going back and forth. And then like the take they did, it ended up being left there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that shit now. Like,
no,
there's no way. But I think even at the time she was like, "Oh yeah, it was all it's like good fun, whatever." And then for a long fact that I'll see if I can go through quickly, when John Ford screened his final cut for the Republic's, which was the movie company's top brass, they liked it, but the movie was 129 minutes long, and they reminded him that the studio wouldn't release a film over 2 hours. They claimed that audiences wouldn't sit through it and for over 2 hours, which we're kind of still in that having that conversation now, even though most movies are
way over.
2.5 hours. Endgame's gonna be like 6 hours, and everyone would sit through it.
It's funny because Django was on TV and it's like 5 hours almost. It's like, or 3 hours and 40 minutes or something. It's almost 4 hours.
That's a crazy long
to watch
movie.
on TV. That's
alone.
commitment.
It's a long movie, but yeah, that's. So Ford objected. He claimed that he already trimmed it, like that was the final cut that he wanted. But the studio didn't move. So when they were screening it, I'll cut that out. So they were screening it, and then they had exactly 120 minutes in the movie. Ford had the theater guy like cut it off. Or like stop the film,
and it was right before the fight.
It was right before the fight scene. So everyone in the theater was kind of like quiet, and he goes, "As you can plainly see, there is nothing left to cut out. So I give you The Quiet Man at exactly 120 minutes, and then now you're begging me for the last 9 minutes." So basically, he was like, "Okay, you want me to cut it? I'll show you what it is cut." And like the best part of the movie is out. So he kind of won on that one.
Yeah, that's funny. That's crazy. Okay, now it's time for our main event, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Hold on to your butts.
This week, we will be talking about a retired American boxer who returns to the village of his birth in Ireland, where he finds love in The Quiet Man.
And we have the trailer.
We do. I almost forgot about that. Yo. Or what? Yeah, here we go.
Herbert J.
This is the very beginning of the movie. The first things you see.
I'd like to tell you about The Quiet Man. He's John Wayne.
It's very different narration over it.
It's the story of Sean Thornton, a right-intended man who came from America to forget his past in Innisfree. There he met a fiery red-headed lass, and the village marriage broker went to work.
That's a pretty bonnet you have on.
Bonnet? Don't you be talking to me about bonnets. After leaving mine stuck up there like a...
Easy now.
Have the good manners not to hit the man until he's your husband, and then he'll hit you back.
Then her bully of a brother, Red Will Danaher, refused to pay her rightful dowry.
There'll be no locks or bolts between us, Mary Kate, except those in your own mercenary little heart.
Mary Kate left him to go to Dublin, but he caught her at the station and brought her back with the whole town watching him do it.
They pretty much show the whole movie in the trailer.
The big highlights, really.
Yeah.
Then the fight was on. A fight they're still talking about in Innisfree. It's a wonderful picture. The finest ever brought to the screen by John Ford, and he's won 3 Academy Awards. His direction makes unforgettable the performances of John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, Barry Fitzgerald, and Victor McLaglen.
Victor McLaglen.
Oh, wow.
It just cuts.
Super abrupt.
All right, so I will start with
your top 5.
All right, number 1, the fight.
Yes,
and, like,
for sure.
just leading into the fight, him dragging her across town.
Yeah, like that whole building up.
Yeah, and then I love them in the bar. This is great.
No, that's just the end of round 1.
Yeah. And it's just like, and everyone's following them and pushing along as they, like, fight through the entire city. It's just great. And number 2 is Micheline Flynn, his friend and marriage broker.
I was just saying, that never really gets explicitly told except in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which exactly told us what he was doing.
Yeah, he's got some great lines. He's hysterical and always drunk or drinking. He's great. And I love the 2. I want to say they're brothers. When he meets them outside the bar, he puts his bag down. He's like, will you watch this and tell Micheline?
2 guys.
They're always wearing the same outfit. Yeah. I don't know why. I just like those 2 guys. I think they're funny.
Well, the one guy I thought had a terrible accent. The first time he talked, and then you don't really hear it the rest of it.
Number 3 is that they filmed it in Ireland, which is super rare at the time.
It was the first one that company, I think, did out of.
Yeah. And they did it in Technicolor instead of True Color, I think it was, which, I don't know, you can really tell when they're filming it there. And they're on the stage,
most of the
all the interiors were in a stage. But that's easy to fake.
But like some of the the
cemetery,
the carriage and like the horse.
I understand those because like the sound of recording when you're doing those, like back then you couldn't really do it that well.
That you could tell it's like, okay, they're just sitting on on the thing in the background.
My number 4, I guess I went in the wrong order. I forgot to start at the end. Is John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Together they're great. And then John Wayne just by himself in this movie is great.
Yeah.
And number 5, the horse race. I love that. Like he leaves her bonnet and takes the widower's bonnet. Just so like,
and he wasn't in on it.
He wasn't in on it. I don't think. I don't think.
But why would he just be like, all right, fine, I'll go for her? Like,
I think because at that point he had just given up. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably the ambiguous thing. Because then even later he's like, yeah, I don't know.
He didn't, and like he honestly wasn't in any of the conversations of them.
No.
Yeah.
Of the entire town.
Yeah. Yeah, plotting against Red Will. And then my honorable mentions, the priest watching the fight and running, and like, when we watch the fight right before, he's like, why didn't you start with that? And he just starts running, hops the fence.
Yeah, there's a fight going on here too.
And then the score is really good. Like when they're showing like the countryside and stuff.
That really adds to it.
Yeah.
Like this part it was on a stage.
Oh yeah. You could tell
the clouds aren't moving. I mean, it looks really nice, but
some of them look better. Like I think the cemetery didn't look that good. That's like the one thing that didn't look greatest.
It's always hard to do rain. Unless it's actually raining.
Yeah.
Like that's the really hard part.
Yeah, and like but other than that, like most of the exteriors are really good when you could tell.
Oh yeah, like it's real wind and all that stuff.
Okay, hold on.
I was gonna say I can jump into my top 5. I'll start at my honorable mentions as well. My honorable mention is that the whole town was behind it, but they still kind of like follow in like the old ways or like the ways of that they did it, where it's like, no, you have to court them, you have to do like all this, to where they're like, oh no, we can't get involved, but only like cursory we can. I thought that was fun. And then everyone betting in like at the fight when they're going through. It's like, oh, I'll take 3-1 on this guy, 10-1 on the big guy. Like,
was the one guy helping him bets on the one guy that
oh
was
yeah, the one guy who's always like, oh, the squire has the floor. Like, yeah, if you can't hear it, it was the one guy was like, oh, like Tim was saying, he bet on his boss, we'll call it. Yeah.
Enemy or...
He's like, oh, you tried it.
McLean screams at him.
Whole town behind him is still fun. Everyone betting. Oh, and the guy pulling a Grandpa Joe when the fight was going past him, he was like in bed, almost dying. He just jumps up and runs out.
They're fighting. He's like pops out,
jumps up and goes to see.
I loved him in the bar too. Even like, what does he say?
He's like,
if it was me, it's like I would have hit him already or something like that.
Then my number 5, the entire town following them when he's dragging her back to start the fight.
I did see
just like
you
everyone
took
like,
one of the lines from that.
Oh, okay.
The old
I don't
lady.
even remember
when she gives him the stick.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Okay,
yeah,
we'll get to that in our quotes. But my number 4 is that it was like a genius plan by the town, and genius for like the time period movie where it's like, oh no, we'll get him to go for her, and he'll get jealous, and then get rid of you, and then it's like, oh no, you don't want 2 women in the house. Like,
and it did end up being that way though. Like he was with the widower at the end.
Yeah,
so
did
if he wouldn't have announced it, I think it would have worked out
It
fine.
would have been like, hey, we're getting married next. And she's like, yeah, what? What are you talking about?
Announced it without even talking to her. Yeah, see these two guys.
Also, why are they wearing like Ringling Brothers?
I don't know. But I like it.
They match. My number 3 is how Mary-Kate changes from excited to stern, like to keep up appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Like when him and McLean came calling, I guess. She was like very excited, like to get him, and then she's like, "Oh, yes, Mr. Thornton," and like started announcing him formally. I thought that she went back and forth very well, like in between the two. My number 2 is McLean and Sean, just like them together and like their banter. Throughout the whole movie was great. And then my number 1, because usually I write these down in order when I'm watching, but like in the first time he gets there, and they're like almost gonna fight, the bartender like moves the lamp and like the glasses off the table so they don't break. It's just something small, but I probably could have saved that for my honorable mention, but I liked it so much I put it
number 1
on my list. Yeah.
A few problems. I have none. Like
minor gripes. Like
yeah,
it's like eh.
And I was thinking about this. Like I don't look like certain movies.
I don't watch a movie to be like, I'm tearing this apart.
Yeah, like maybe if it's very blatant or something. But my one would just be like how we were talking, like the exteriors, the ones that they shot in Hollywood. Like you can tell. Even John Wayne said he was like, those didn't come out as well as I wish they would have.
But I mean, you're in the 50s. It's there was no technology like there is now to do it. Like I mean, it still looks.
Most of them look fine.
Yeah.
I think my only one is like I think it's the graves in the cemetery look
probably
very cheesy. like they're just off.
Just some things.
It's
like
not even
slightly.
like the sky in the background or like I understand those ones or the carriages when they're talking on the carriages but like that one just the only thing. And like that, it's not even a huge problem.
No, it's like a quick scene too.
Yeah.
Mine
and his shirt just they had to go with white.
Yeah, it shows more.
It's like so white though, and then all of a sudden super clear.
One of mine would be that McLean shoots his gun like directly into the house instead of like up in the air or like the door's there. He shoots right into the house. But I'm pretty sure, wasn't she in the house? That wasn't their house though. Oh, I thought it was.
I think that's her brother's house.
Oh, okay.
Even
still, he's shooting it into the house. Like, and the other one would be that the movie took an hour and 16 minutes to get into why he left the United States, which I'm totally fine with because they could have even left that out and just had the scene with the other boxer.
They could have, or just, I think they should have put it in the beginning, and I think one of the lines you picked for your quotes would make way more sense if you knew he was a boxer.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about, yeah.
Well, when we get to it, I'll point it out. But yeah, one of them, and it's super early in the movie.
Knowing that context, you're like, oh, that makes
it makes way more sense. Like otherwise, you're just like, what the hell does that mean? And like I've seen this a few times already, or a bunch of times. So like I know he's a boxer. So I was like, oh, like that makes sense.
But you're right. If they had that scene at the beginning, and then the next one was to cut to him on the train, it's the same exact story.
You don't even have to say why he retired boxing. That could come way later.
Right, yeah. Just keep like the scene of the actual boxing first.
And then cut to him. And then cut before the match even ends. And like
right, just like his seeing his before he seeing the guy down and putting him in town.
Yeah.
Like just cut there and then go into the movie and then bring that back when he's talking with the other guy.
Yeah, that would work.
That was my only thing. It's not really great, but why not?
Okay, moving on to quotes now. Let's see. Do I want to go in a different order? Yeah, I'm going to start at the bottom. Okay. I'm going to bounce around. I'm going to go. Red Will, his brother-in-law, when they're at the bar, is like, I'll let you buy me a drink at your wake. And just starts laughing. And then I love when he calls his sister the widower because he's going to kill him. And he even gets a chuckle out of that.
Your widow.
Yeah. And then I got 3 Michelines. I'll go
honestly, most of what he said, you could probably quote.
Yeah.
It's like that funny.
One of his first lines, when he leaves... He's driving Sean to town, and he's leaving him. He's like, well, it's a nice soft night, so I'll go and join me comrades and talk a little treason. Good night, Sean. And then I love...
that was a good one.
When he drops him off at the church, and then he's picking him back up, he's like, none of that now, none of that. It's a bold, sinful man, you are, Sean Thornton. And who taught you to be playing patty fingers in the holy water? And he uses that line like 3 times in the movie, and each time it's great. Playing patty fingers.
See, like this, that is definitely back, that's real.
And I guess at the church they used was a Protestant church and not a Catholic church, and that's why the holy water's on the outside.
Exactly. I was reading that, I'm like, that's pretty funny.
That they even allowed them in the first place.
Right, that to even good.
And then my last one is when he goes to Mary Kate's house to
was Ashley
give
there?
Sean.
That's where we need that.
Yeah, so I
completely derailed that.
So McLean went over to give Mary Kate Sean's proposal. But he's drinking her whiskey or whatever, and she's playing the piano, and she goes, "Could you use a little water in your whiskey?" And he's, when I drink whiskey, I drink whiskey. When I drink water, I drink water. And then, like, right before that, he lost the bottle at his feet. Where'd you put the bottle? It's right under him.
It's right there.
Yeah.
All right. My quotes, I'll kind of start. I'll start bottom to top because I think it goes in reverse order. My number 5 I have is
you mentioned the old lady.
He's dragging her through the town, and this old lady goes, "Here's a good stick to beat the lovely lady." It's like a big whopping stick. Number 4, which again we alluded to earlier. Sean Thornton says, "If you say 3, mister, you'll never hear the man count 10," which
Which to me is so Red told him that he's gonna count to 3 and he better get out of there or something like that.
Yeah, you better get out of my house.
Yeah, and then he said the 10, and it makes no sense unless you know he's a boxer.
Exactly. Or even
he's gonna knock him out, and
then the ref would count. But
but then he was traumatized by killing a man who didn't make it to 10. Now he's making threats about this.
I was making threats about doing it again.
Yeah.
On a dude he met like 2 weeks ago. My number 3. Okay, yeah, this was when Flynn and Sean go to the house. So he goes, Mr. Sean Thornton, bachelor, meet Miss Mary-Kate Danaher, spinster. Miss Danaher, meet Mr. Thornton from Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, USA.
Pittsburgh.
That's why I wrote it down, because it was Pittsburgh, Massachusetts. I'm like, not so much. And then number 2 is from Red Will, like when we first meet him early on. He's like, get your book out, write his name down, and then put a line.
It out. Put a line through it.
Strike it.
And then they both laugh about that. Like, it was really good.
Oh, we got him.
We got him.
He's in the book now. And then my number 1 quote, just again, Thornton and Michelin. He goes, hey, is that, after seeing Mary Kay for the first time, he goes, hey, is that real? She couldn't be. And then Michelin goes, nonsense, man. It's only a mirage brought on by your terrible thirst. So apparently they were thirsty back then, too. Before it really became popular.
All right. Now some recasting, which neither of us have.
No, you really can't. I mean, because if you brought it into...
You'd have to keep it.
You'd have to update it.
No, you can keep it. Well, you'd have to keep it at that time period. That's the only way it would work.
The only way you can kind of get it passed would be like, no, it's like 1950s or like back how even longer in Ireland.
And there's no one I can see replacing.
That
at least them two.
No, that have
John,
that much.
John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara.
No, the closest would probably be like, I think Emma Stone could probably do it. I could see her and
there's nobody.
I'm trying to find an overbearing, commanding
person, and that's who's like a huge star too. Though.
Right?
Like you need it's impossible.
There is no other John Wayne. Is basically what we're saying.
Yes. All right. Final thoughts. Looks like you
I did write down a bunch of the final thoughts, which are kind of, after watching it through again a little bit, it's like, whatever. So he was the only one on the train when he came in, which I'm sure in the middle of the country.
Did you see that there was a scene they cut and never filmed of him on the train?
No,
it was with a lady and her kid. And the kid gives him an apple, and that's why in the very beginning he holds an apple up. It's really random. But we'll watch the beginning again, and he holds the apple up.
Okay, that would make more sense. And I'm sure they're in the middle of a country.
And that's another great scene when he's trying to get to town, and they're all telling him how to get there and who would get him there, but none of the people are there. And then Michelin just grabs his bag.
He grabs him. He's like, all right, let's go. And then I kind of get, okay. I don't remember seeing it like that, but yeah.
See? Yeah. We're at the, we've been watching it on silent, but we're at the cemetery scene right now. Just some of these graves are just, just ridiculous.
But apparently there was quite the draft in the house when they were filming that, which from what it looks like since they filmed there, apparently it's super windy there, which which makes sense. But I just wasn't aware of. And then I think I said this with The Searchers too, but this could have been a 90-minute movie, especially with the narration, the 1 or 2 parts narrated. But just the way that they made it was like, now let's make it like an epic long.
Yeah.
And tell the whole story, tell everything. And I think it paid off.
Yeah, like you could, I mean, some of the beginning scenes I could see cutting, but not much though.
Right. Yeah, no, this wouldn't be a ton. And then kind of watching this in that time period, I guess that's where you get like to hold on to your hats. Because like when they were in the carriage and they took off and no one said anything, like they were all like holding on to their... So like that, I could see that making sense of where that phrase came from. And like kind of the same as like walk her back. Or like, this is a hard one to explain, but like walk her back into town or walk her back to the family. It was like he dragged her all the way to the town so everyone could see and like everyone was able to be in on it, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing is just kind of like at the end, it's like the cool old movie style where like they show the rest of the cast like paired off, just kind of like staring happily,
like a Predator.
Exactly, like Predator.
It's like it disappeared for a little while, and then the '90s brought it back, or '80s, end of '80s, '90s.
Yeah, that's like he might as well not even be wearing.
Yeah,
let's get the thinnest white shirt we can find.
It really is. And then I did read. I can't remember if I read it or if because I watched some of the special features on the DVD. But I guess like in that end of the scene where they're showing everybody, I guess Maureen O'Hara, John Ford told her to whisper something into John Wayne's ear that got that reaction. Yeah. And I guess she never told anybody what it was. Yeah. And I think what was it? She's like, "Oh, I can't say that to Duke" or something like that.
Apparently, it was like the most like nasty, dirtiest thing. Like, but yeah, like you said, no one knows what it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think it's almost kind of like I'm gonna bring it like in Mission Impossible Fallout at the end, where she like whispers something to her that no one knows. Where Rebecca Ilsa whispers something to what's her face. At the end, she's leaving. Like Tom's like past in the bed.
She whispers to Tom or to the wife?
To the one that's been hiding.
His ex-wife or whatever.
She just like puts her arm on her and says something. Like, I got this or whatever. Doesn't say that. Yeah. But it's like kind of like that moment where only the actors and the people there know what it is.
Or it reminds me of C-3PO and what was it? He knew everything that R2-D2 said.
Oh yeah.
he was the only one.
Or 7,000 languages.
Well, the actor knows what. Yeah, it's that. Yeah. Knew what he was responding to, so like he would be able to respond better to it instead of just randomly talking.
It's like, why would you say that?
Yeah, and there was another thing that I read. That Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne became like really good friends. Like, well, they did 5 movies together.
Right.
I guess at her place in I can't remember where, but they had like the guest room they called the John Wayne wing because that's where he would stay all the time when he came by. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
like,
so
it's a little area. This is your area.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Final thoughts for me? Nothing much. I mean, we covered a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll remember.
Which, like, at this part, it's only an hour through.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, that the point of the movie that they set up is done.
Yeah.
He sees her and wants to marry her.
Mm-hmm.
Done. But then there's a whole nother.
Yeah. Good movie, though.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Definitely recommend it.
Now time to rank some movies, and we're going to rank our top 5 Irish movies. Which is a lot
harder.
Too many.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do than most would think. Because
and then at some points I was just like, well, that guy's Irish, so like, can I use that? But I will go first. My honorable mention is Luck of the Irish.
The best.
For the Disney Channel original movie.
Just the greatest.
Yes. Number 5 is Leprechaun, with just the first one with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Number 4, P.S. I Love You. I don't know. I'm a sucker for romantic comedies.
Dude, so am I, but I don't remember seeing this. Is that the one with Hugh Grant?
No, Jennifer Garner and Gerard Butler is her husband who passes away. but like a year after.
Spoiler alert.
It happens in the beginning of the movie. But a year after he passes away, he like set up a bunch of things to have, like notes and stuff for her to do, and like he was from Ireland.
Oh, okay.
So he sends her to Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan's in it. Who they look like twins in the movie. It's really funny.
Doesn't ring any bells, but sounds like I would like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. A little sad, but for the most part, good movie. Number 3, The Departed. Yeah, just Boston, Southie Boston, Irish. Like, I guess I would put the town in there.
I was literally just gonna say that because I just went to
I'll
Boston.
put them tied. Yeah, like, see, like, there's a few movies that, like, I'm sure we'll get yelled at that we didn't mention.
Oh,
but,
absolutely,
But
yeah.
you can't just Google Irish movies.
If you Google Irish movies, these movies come up, and that's it, pretty much.
Some are just like they were filmed in Ireland.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'll put The Quiet Man, just because that's super Irish.
Yes.
And then
except John Wayne.
John Wayne, yeah. He is Irish, though.
I was gonna say he is, but like he's like, in the movie, he's like the least Irish.
Yes. And then number 1, Boondock Saints, because I've seen that about a billion times, and I love it. Not number 2 though, just 1. Although 2 has some redeeming qualities, but it doesn't even make the list. Maybe honorable mention.
Yeah, throw it down there. Well, then I'll kind of edit my list if we're including the town.
Yeah, I would include the town.
Okay, then I'm gonna edit my list. My honorable mention, Leprechaun.
Okay.
My number 5, Luck of the Irish. I really wanted to put it number 1, but I just couldn't.
I just couldn't.
But that's definitely up there. Number 4, Quiet Man. I'm gonna put. I liked it, but I like these other ones better. And I'll probably get yelled at. But number 3 is Boondock Saints.
Okay.
I'm already getting a look. So I'm not going to explain why. I'm just going to move on with my list. Number 2, The Town.
Okay.
And number 1, Departed.
All right.
Also, because The Town, when I was just in Boston a couple weeks ago, and we did the Fenway Park tour.
Yes.
The very first thing I said, I even asked the question. Yes. I'm like, was this where I didn't even need, actually, I was about to ask. And before I even like raised my hand, the guy's like, also, a bunch of movies were filmed here. And he started listening, and the town. I'm like, yes. We walked in the exact entrance where they walked in.
Really?
I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect.
That's awesome.
But that was cool because it was, I'm going to go on a small tangent, but it's like, yeah, like the town was filmed there. We got into the press boxes where Brad Pitt sat for Moneyball. They talked about like, there's where Ted fell off from the left field.
Would you count that one?
If it was, then it would go like maybe top 5. But I don't know what's probably Luck of the Irish. I would bump just
because
sadly. But yeah, they're like, that's the pole where Ted fell off at the first after the first one, and then they're like, and there's where Jimmy Fallon sat in
Fever Pitch.
So it was cool. Like they had that a part of the tour, which I really dug.
Oh, you know what? I would even throw in honorable mention just because it's barely Irish. Is The Fugitive, because they filmed it during the St. Patrick's Day parade in Chicago. Have to mention it, I feel like.
Okay, definitely honorable mention.
And then and then I didn't know if I would put Rudy in there too. Honorable mention, Irish, fighting Irish.
Okay, turns out there are more Irish movies.
Yeah, like the more you, the
more you think about it,
and then like it's just small things that that qualify.
He wore green in this movie.
Yeah.
Look, I'm Irish.
Yeah. All right, that has been our show today. Hope you enjoyed it.
You can follow us on social media and our website, timandtonytalk.com. And remember, share this with your friends.
And make sure to join us next week for the Mild Manner movie review when we discuss The Departed with
Matt Stang.
All right.
I'm going to set that up. I've been texting him. So we'll see if we can get that set up through Skype, another Skype one.
All right. Awesome.
Yep. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening. I'm Tim.
And I'm Tony. We are the Dynamic Duo.
Good night.
Oh, jeez, Rick.